it's like for game number 2. GT now on our blue side, and we'll see whether things change moving into this game as Talia and Shen are the first 2 bans.
I like the Shin respect, and again, that Talia ban still target around auto. He should never get his hands on that champion, despite the fact that he doesn't have a win on it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit oppressive in the laning phase regardless.
I think obnoxious is probably the core word.
And also the fact that, you know, a lot of things get banned against Saint, and a lot of things don't have wins on them for Oscarin, because honestly, Saint just don't have a lot of wins. As Sivir, Victor, and Braum are going to be the bans. The Hecarim follows up as GT remove that combo completely.
Now, last champion select, neither team looked at Malzahar or Vladimir. Both those power picks went through the draft phase. We'll see if things change this time around, as again, priority pick from blue side. You have the option of Malz or Vlad, and they're looking Alistar.
Yeah, once again for City. And honestly, if I see Saint just lock in the same bottom lane of last game, that'd make some sense to me.
Well, you know that Shu's going to go towards that Thresh anytime it's available. It's a massive comfort pick for him. It works really well in tandem with Jhin, offering him a ton of safety and security with that Dark Passage.
Yeah, well, and I guess they don't even need to now, because there's no way GT is going to be picking that away from him, so they can get one of these coveted picks that has been left up. Something like the Malzahar for auto if they want to. But,
just back to back. This is, I think, Game Talent's kind of handing the draft, or at least a very easy rotation, to Saint.
Does feel a little bit like they're opting into hard mode for Oscarin. This is
the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah.
They got to prepare for Vici in playoffs, so like, let's just give them everything and see what happens.
The thing is, we don't have 28 episodes to try and get ourselves powered up, GT. This is a best of 3. It's just not going to be that time, as the Vladimir looking to be the answer towards this Malzahar. And GT do need to really clean things up, and that is a good start. Of course, very powerful pick. But we saw the fact that Malzahar really does not care about this matchup at all.
It's really important about who gets the early lane control in this matchup, so we'll see if Malzahar can get the advantageous push, or if he even goes the direction of the Vladimir as he's now hovering Gangplank.
Yeah. We actually saw QSS built against Malzahar first item in the Vladimir Malzahar matchup. Still didn't save him. So riddle me that, as Wushang back onto his comfort pick of the Rek'Sai, of course what he made his debut in the LPL on and his most played champion. And that is Gimgoon's Gangplank picked up towards the top side of the map, unless Republic wants to play it.
Should be Gimgoon's champion. I think that Republic probably will in the end head towards that Vladimir. Again, we like the answer of Gangplank into Malzahar, even though it's not across 1v1, simply because it dissuades Jhin and Malzahar from standing still to unload all of their damage inside the cannon barrage.
Yeah, and a little bit more area control now coming out of Game Talents. Republic looking to shore up that early game with, once again, the LeBlanc pickup. Into the Malzahar, that is going to be difficult. There's now Saint looking to pick something for Akon. We'll see exactly what he wants to play as, of course. The Thresh was locked in for Shu, and the Graves picked up for Chimin. As it was banned game 1, and he wants to be aggressive, may as well play the Graves.
So does Akon go towards the Echo, Poppy, or Swain?
I feel like Poppy would make a lot of sense, mostly because it's Akon and his Poppy looks fantastic, irrespective of whether or not he's actually been able to win on it.
I think Echo will have a bit of a better time across from Gangplank in lane, though. He has more options on his kit to sidestep a lot of the keg damage. Ooh.
Speaking of being able to sidestep.
Or you can just jump on top of the enemy top laner's face.
Utilize Blade Surge to get himself over there, as Akon is going to take Aurelia towards the top side of the map, and Saint have so much damage in this composition, Proscarin, but maybe not all that much AoE CC.
And the last time Acorn did get his hands on the Aurelia, he really went off, and that was last time Saint did pick up a victory, so certainly putting themselves in a position to pick up their second possible series for the LPL split. Better late than never.
Yeah, exactly right. Up against Game Talents as well, a team that was able to 2-0 them so easily in week 1 of the LPL. Oh, how things have changed, Proscarin. Saint making themselves a late surge, trying to shore up their ability to get back into the LPL in the promotion tournament. But Gimgoon's back on his Gangplank. Looked fantastic on the champion before. PentaQ on his Twitch. Champion that we've seen him play quite a few times, but not so much in this split of the LPL. Things do look better here for GT. But still, Saint with such a powerful composition.
And again, Saint were known as the revenge team when they came into the LPL, so we'll see if they get their revenge on Game Talents.
Well, they're going for it. Coaches shake hands. Let's get into Game 2 between Saint and Game Talents. Cheers, Pennique, and here we are onto the riff for game number 2. Now, Game Talents on our blue side, and we'll see whether that's going to change their hopes moving into this game, because game 1 was honestly a shutout from first blood, even if they were able to pick that one up.
My question is going to be whether Game Talents opt into standard lanes or try to initiate a lane swap here. If you look down to their 2v2 and Twitch and Alistar, this is a disaster. It is a very weak lane, especially across from Jhin and Thresh. So you either have the option that Wusong camps the lane, they sit back, try to absorb and neutralize it, or we look for the lane swap.
At the moment, if we have a look at the Keystone Masteries, that was a Windspeaker's Blessing picked up by City.
He did it last game as well.
So looking to be a heal bot with the Triumphant Roar, give you a few extra statistics, and might mean that they want to go into the 2v2. Just try and weather the storm, so to speak.
Yep, surviving that. Should be seen that Wusong, starting on that top side, blue side, Rek'Sai, will have a pretty...
Top side, blue side, Rek'Sai?
Top side, blue side, Rek'Sai. It's important because it's a very clear, telegraphed gank path, although as we say that, it's actually Saint that possibly initiating the lane swap here.
Well, already XQ is going to be able to watch as these minions meet towards the top side.
And they're doing this knowingly because they have the ward on the Krug camp.
Yeah. Interesting that a Jhin would opt into a lane swap as well. Odd. We'll see whether it works, see if it's Saint. I'm a little bit mind blown.
We'll just see what they do with it. We'll see if this is about the jungler possibly isolating Jimin so he can just farm up on the Graves rather than having to be responsible to dealing with Rek'Sai constantly ganking, especially that bottom lane.
Jimin decided that he wanted to go into hard mode in the jungle as well, as he started the Gromp thinking that he could hold it whilst still taking down the blue buff.
City needs to be careful.
Yeah, Akon's going to turn up. Level 1 does have a fair bit of damage to him. Nice pulverize as Shu now getting collapsed on by both Gimgoon and Wusong, who are battling this blue buff at the same time. City continues to get aggressive. Good equilibrium strike there from Akon, gets rid of him. GT get away from the support, but once again, City finds the pulverize, but does need to be, more careful.
In the end, it's going to be a slight advantage for Saint. They're a bit behind on their jungle clear, but they did manage to clear out the entire blue side of their jungle.
Yep. Now the Raptor camp is going to go down. Wusong deals with it, the Pre-Seeker, as well as the Q.
Okay, so Saint are now opting back into a possible 2v2. We'll see if Game Talents meet them or if they're going to swap back. The fact that Gangplank, Gimgoon is in the top side should mean that they're just going to try to catch up on itemization, then walk back bottom. Yes, there we go. So could have just been a possible early lane swap to try to get an early item lead. XQ seeming to be reliant on his boots.
Yeah, actually is one of the players that does really like to rush towards those swiftness boots.
But this makes much more sense to have the isolated 1v1 so Aurelia can start getting her farm, isn't put behind. She needs about 150 before she really turns on into that Aurelia. And they want to abuse the Twitch Alistar matchup by having that range support as well as the Jhin.
Well, Otto clears out this lane. Doesn't get chained. Now looking to go. As Republic doesn't dive, doesn't have a lot of mana. And his first back now coming in for Otto. Did have to use one of his summoner spells, so Ghost went down in order to escape. Jimin now waiting, but Gimgoon looking to go home. And XQ actually taking some damage here from PentaQ. Takes a Lantern out, but that poison still ticking. PentaQ wins the trade.
City is level 1.
Oh, good hook as well, as City's going to get flayed back. That is a lot of damage. Heal has to be used from Penacue. Free summon a spell for a hook.
Because City is level 1. What a disaster.
It's a nightmare scenario. Dancing Grenade even lands onto the cow at the same time. XQ really got his eye in on this Jhin at the moment. Shu, spotted by the Rift Scuttler. Now going to make his way back into this lane. And Frostgren's continuing to be quite perplexed by how this cow has not been in the game so far.
I just feel like both teams fumbled the early game pretty handedly, and now we're just trying to recover and catch up. It's okay because both sides screwed up.
Yep, mopping at the moment.
Get it back together.
Akon takes some barrel damage there from Gimgoon. Starting things up. Another one lands as Akon now has to deal with Wushang. Uses the Blade Surge, flashes his way out, and will be safe. That is the flash gained, and Akon now in trouble.
Doesn't have any vision, so just needs to, go ahead and pull the trigger on the back. There's no way he can reapproach that creep wave, although he does have his TP available to him, so we'll see if Game Talents can force the cooldown trade. Yep. Although, as I say that, he's actually hanging around.
Actually, 6 CS in the lead as well, as Gimgoon did go back to base that one time. Shimon now not looking for any sort of gank here towards the bottom side as XQ. Just poking the Twitch. Testing his limits here on this Jhin. The Republic now just continues to answer waves. This is what we talk about with Malzahar all the time. It's the fact that the man has a fair bit of shove. Has the double Doran's ring as well, so will be relatively healthy moving into this matchup.
But he's not strong in terms of his roam potential. Although we see him kind of cheekily standing in Fog of War trying to get Republic to chase him or find him. Needs to be careful though because he doesn't have his ultimate available, whereas Republic does have that level 6.
Yeah. Well, Akon zoned away from minions here as well. Gangplank holding onto these barrels, putting them in the right positions. Akon is still able to get cheeky CS.
He's going to die.
He's in a lot of trouble.
The issue is that he's got a big creep wave.
Yeah, we'll see whether Wushang can actually deal with that creep wave as well, as the Equilibrium Strike is on cooldown. Akon now trying to move himself around, gets to Gimgoon. Another Equilibrium Strike's there, but there's the flash forward, and that's first blood for Wushang as Otto. He's going to get chained in the mid lane. Good start for GT.
I mean, Acorn thought he was safe.
Whoa.
Hold on.
There's the flash as Otto just throws down the ultimate instead. Oh my goodness, Ignite! Last auto attack, and it's going to finish it off. GT playing beautifully on multiple lanes.
So at least that's a sigh of relief there, is the fact that Republic still consistent on the LeBlanc there. Otto still really struggling in his 1v1 matchups, which again, typically, that's what this player was known for, is his ability to win 1v1s. But topside, Acorn, way overextended, so greedy for the creep wave, thought that he was safe because he had amassed a giant horde of minions, but didn't have his didn't have his ward down, hadn't backed, decided to stay to try to pick up more waves.
Now that wave is going to push back into Gimgoon as well. Teleport was used by Akon, but not by the Gangplank. So we'll still be able to go around and affect the map. Has his Sheen, almost has his Phage.
To be fair, though, Gangplank really doesn't mean much if he teleports across map.
Yeah.
He needs setup time for his barrels, so it's not as punishing a difference as it would be on other top laners.
And at the moment as well, probably just wants to use that Cannon Barrage anyway for that cross-map pressure. But good for GT to know that Acorn cannot follow him, no matter what he uses. Gimgoon starting to do a lot of damage with these barrels as well. Now City moving up, clearing out vision. Chimmin poking his head in. We're going to try and stop the cow from getting the work done, and that end of the line is certainly going to do that. He does have the collateral damage as Chimmin's looking for it. There it is. Flash used by City gets him out of the way.
And all this over a pink ward. Especially doing this without Otto having level 6 available, and it's because Wushang is on the top side of the map, so they didn't have any jungle pressure. City just looks so out of sorts and not on the same page as the rest of the team. And again, the question is, where is Savoki?
Yeah, and he was on the sub list. I have a feeling it's not because he's just not here.
Could possibly be resting him before the final. I mean, it's just very strange for a team who's run Savoki. Like, he's been the support the entire split.
Yeah.
So to change him literally the last series, maybe he's just, I'm not feeling well, coach. Rest me before the playoffs.
Or maybe they just don't want to give away new Savoki styles. Maybe he's sitting back, practicing all of those meta picks as Otto throws down the Ghost, looking to try and get out of the way here as Cannon Barrage is going to stop him. He doesn't have Flash, remember, as the heal comes in. Oh my god, Republic almost dies to the Voidlings as the Dragon falls down. Ocean Drake actually going to help Otto as he runs so quickly away from everyone, but in goes City. There's the exhaust. Will get the Pulverize now as the double knockup comes in. Republic in trouble as Shu was looking for it. Deadly Flourish doesn't find anything, and everyone now collapsing towards the mid lane. But Gimgoon's going to get there first before anyone. And it's the bottom lane of Saint the cleanup.
It's a kill for the Ocean Dragon, so Saint still picking up the superior objective, although Game Talents have amassed kind of an organic lead through just their kill gold.
Yeah, 2,000 gold is that lead. Of course, Saint going to be feeling okay moving into the later stages of the game. They just need to start utilizing what they have with this composition. Nethergrasp is so important to this team, and you do have ways of locking people down and killing them. I mean, Otto just can walk towards them, throw down his R button, and Chimin can follow up with a kill, but they just haven't been making those proactive moves to try and get things going.
Yes, but they also still have a ton of damage. We call this the classic Saint composition because effectively you've got 5 carries. Yep. Every single one of these champions can step up to the plate. So yes, Game Talents have amassed a decent lead early, but Saints still have plenty of threats late game.
Well, there's the Nethergrass one more time. Republic is able to get out of there, just distorts back, but Otto taking a lot of damage.
Still using that cooldown reactively as opposed to proactively.
And there's the Ignite. Otto's going to burn to death one more time. Republic just looks so comfortable. Oh my goodness, Preyseek is going to do it in the end as the heal was enough from the potion for the moment.
Just trust in each other. Like, the dangerous game would have saved him if he hadn't eaten the Preyseeker.
Yeah.
So trust that Chimin's going to find the kill.
Oh, Acorn actually almost able to find Gimgoon there towards the top side of the map. Flashes out of the way. Of course, Acorn traded it with his own flash, but no teleport here for the Gangplank, and the Aurelia finding her way into this matchup really nicely. We mentioned Acorn's Aurelia. Already has had decent performances, but once again, Wushang.
Blade Surge E.
Yeah, well, there's the E. Now going to be able to get himself out with the flash. Gimgoon doesn't want to tank up too many of these creeps as Curtain Call goes down on the bottom side of the map. Shu looking to try and lock them up. Pentacue level 8 to the level 6 of City as all of the bullets go into the cow. Takes a fair bit of damage from it.
And Wushang has pretty much been AFK in terms of this bottom lane pressure.
Speaking of AFK, this is a problem as Otto once again back to the Death Chamber. This is massive. 4-0-0 for Wushang. Game Talents are running away with this game as now Chimin running away from Republic. The chain still being held onto, connects it onto Chimin. He is going to get snared. Headbutt Pulv, and Republic gets himself his second kill of the game.
This is the Game Talents that we expect, but it's being led by Wushang and not by Savoki. That said, 4-0-1 on the Rek'Sai. I mean, he's not clear love. We'll see if he can actually continue to hard carry this. They're in a good position now while the jungler is able to impact these lanes, but once the lanes get unlocked and it's more about that 5v5, will it be the same story? Because I feel like Acorn's still in an incredibly healthy position, and even though Otto is 0-4-1, that Malzahar is still going to be worth a lot in those 5v5s once he has his 2-item power spike.
Yeah, can still just press his R button on the right targets. Of course, probably not Gimgoon, as he'll be able to just eat some oranges and get himself out of the way.
Also really interesting that Wushang, with as much gold as he has chosen to itemize in both the Tiamat as well as the Sightstone. But hold on, top lane.
Yep,
oh,
Republic.
The ward. He just missed it.
Looking for his turn at the gank. His barrel does fly down. There's the chain landing. Acorn can't get out of the way. And Gimgoon's going to be able to pick up that kill all too easily. Republic everywhere right now.
And this is so important because this is what Malzahar cannot do, is unlock himself from the lane and impact those side waves. So Republic, with the help of Wushang, won the 1v1. It is now trying to spiral that across the map and assist Gimgoon, who's really struggling against this Aurelia.
Now Chimin actually moving around, looking for the Gangplank. Going to poke his way out. Dashes himself forward. End of the line's going to come in. There's the Chilling Smite, but can't find the end of the line damage on the return. The Gangplank wanders his way out. Now able to pick up that minion wave for the Graves. So Chimin's at least able to get himself a kill this game. XQ has been farming very, very well. Has his Duskblade already completed. There's still signs of life here for Saint, but it's a very different game to that of Game 1.
All eyes on Republic and Wushang.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to contest Chimin's jungle. He pretty much has a non-existent mid laner.
Well, it's In answer to your question, yes, he is going to continue trying to contest the jungle. Doesn't want to go 1 versus 3 though, as Shu moves his way over, and they do manage to secure this Bramble back. Jimin locks it down.
But that now impacts bottom lane. City's actually looking for a possible dive here.
Yeah, and you can see Shu, he's moving out of the way. Headbutt Pulve comes in, the heal is there, gets himself underneath the turret one more time, but PentaQ grabs the kill all too easily. Shu looking to find his way over as Jimin now fighting Wushang. Everyone doing battle on all sides of the rift. Now Acorn and Jimin underneath their turret, relegated here right now as Wushang's dirty farming on the Rek'Sai.
Saint are now being smothered across the map. This is going to be a 3v2 dive. They have the cannon barrage.
Well, Jimin looking to try and pick up this minion wave. Wushang tanks it first. Oh my god, Jimin just pops. Acorn can't find anything else as Wushang's able to tank the turret forever. Gimgoon grabs 1. Republic now singled out, but Otto just doesn't do any damage. And now he's going to die for it. Flashes his way over. Republic at least. Malefic Visions. Will it be enough? Otto grabs 1 kill. That is definitely not worth it.
And City with the drive-by to pick it up. I misspoke. He did not have the cannon barrage. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So taking that dive despite not having that ultimate, still executing on it relatively well and picking up the tower. This is what we really expected from Game Talents in game number 1. And again, Saint, they look so good at times, and then they really fall off.
Well, they certainly did look very, very good in game number 1. Now Game Talents 11-2. You said smothered. I think that is the perfect word to describe how this game is going.
And it all started again through the mid lane. The fact that Otto is so far behind that it's starting to impact the bot lane because Shu needs to roam up to make sure that his jungler just doesn't lose every single camp, then opens up XQ to be dove. So simply because Malzahar is 1-5-1 means that XQ is forced to die on the bottom side.
Yeah.
And that's tragic.
It is. At least the towers are going to be equalized. XQ getting a lot of work done there towards the bottom side of the map. Remains in the lead as far as farm. Hasn't been back for quite some time, though. We'll see whether he does decide to as Jimin clearing out vision here towards his bottom side jungle. Republic will get rid of these minions in the mid lane. Otto moves down towards the dragon. And Saint looking to once again grab another one. It's going to be a mountain, so a big deal. Ocean and mountain now collected. If they can lock this one in, and it looks like they will be able to.
Meanwhile, the play top side being created for Game Talent, so looking to dive Acorn again.
Yeah, Cannon Barrage comes down. Acorn throws down the ultimate, so, okay, it's just not going to work. Republic, so much burst damage with the distortion, picks up another kill.
That does mean that Saint have the inside track on the mid tower, but Game Talents could look to make a flanking play. City's in position.
Yeah, Republic moving on over as well. As there's the headbutt. Pulverize does find the ultimate on himself there as well, but there's a lot of damage here from Saint regardless. Nice chain lands, and XQ's going to pop towards the bottom side. And of course, Nethergrass just not enough. Otto's going to die as Chimin's going to follow up. GT monsters here in the mid game. And there is nothing Saint can do.
They ran away with the lane phase, and now they're going to run away with mid-game. This gold lead is ballooning so far out of control.
32,000 to 25. That is a 7,000 gold lead at 17 minutes. And we thought Saint's lead was impressive last game. This is just ridiculous.
They seem to have perfectly targeted out what Saint were doing. You know, this team struggles with moving together as a team. They had a very easy and clear a binary composition to execute in game 1. Hecarim Shin. That's as standard as it gets. You take that away from them and they kind of lose all direction on the map.
It's certainly looking to be the case. Now Gimgoon has his Triforce, building towards what could be a Sterix Gauge actually for item number 2. But he's got 30% CDR with those Lucidity Boots. Will be able to flash and teleport a whole lot more as well. The Gangplank is getting to that stage where he's very, very scary. And he's 2-0-7. It's a pretty good game. There's now Wushang, Sightstone, Titanic Hydra, Cinderhawk there as well as the Ninja Tabi. If anyone's set up, it's most certainly this jungler who's got exactly what he wants. And that's a Hurricane and a Ghostblade picked up here by PentaQ.
It just speaks volumes, the fact that he was able to go the Tiamat route as well as the Sightstone. I said it earlier, and I'll just emphasize that again. Typically, Rek'Sais will kind of choose one way or the other.
Yeah.
If they're going to be more of that supportive Rek'Sai versus carry.
Well, speaking of Rek'Sai, there's the carry mode. So he does pick up a few auto attacks onto Otto, but Cannon Barrage dodged, utilizing the Lantern from Shu. Saint continue to hold on.
Still bleeding around the map. Another tower fell.
Yeah. This bottom lane now is where XQ has to head off to try and clear out those minions.
It's just so dangerous for any of Saint to be extended right now because the lane assignments are so volatile in pretty much every single matchup. But the assassination potential, not only because you have Gangplank, so the global reach with his ultimate, but then that LeBlanc and both Twitch are on their core itemization or fed. So they're so far ahead of the clock.
Oh, and Otto once again in trouble. Pentacue just throws down the ultimate. Rat-a-tat-tat, and that Malzahar is dead. Chimin's going to follow suit as well as the Ignite's ticking down. Wushang gets the last auto attack as Republic. He was done with that particular battle. Gimgoon's going to eat some oranges. He's going to be K, but Akon is most certainly not going to be. So that is going to be another kill for Republic. 5-2-9. 8-0-4 for Republic, who's legendary as Shu. Just put onto the platter. That's the double kill there for the mid laner of GT, and they'll follow up with an inner turret. We once again said that GT may not have necessarily found the right draft phase, but the game is certainly better.
And Wushang was on your screen, just calm, cool, and collected. Stone face look of a killer.
Yeah, he was a Terminator on that screen. As Chimin was the one having a big giggle sitting in his chair.
I mean, what more can you do? That's an 8-0-4
That's
Rek'Sai
a
running in.
12,000 gold lead for Oscarin. That's 20 minutes.
Night and day difference, though.
Yeah.
Game 1, you know, Wushang was put behind trying to save Otto. Or excuse me, yeah, trying to save Otto. Game 2, nothing happens. The lane swap commences, so both junglers are kind of left to their own devices. Just power farming, and Wushang comes up with the superior gank paths.
Yeah, you said power farming, but it was to do with how it was affecting this.
It was just that bizarre early game.
Oh my goodness, Akon right on the edge of the cannon barrage. The Republic just flash distorts on top of him, picks up the kill. Pentacue casually destroys Otto there in the mid lane, who's 1-8-1.
And that's the assassination that we were talking about earlier. The fact that there is no safe space on the map for Saint. So they're so far behind, and unless these waves are crashing into the tower, they cannot be anywhere. With the global presence of cannon barrage and the assassination potential from LeBlanc and Twitch, they've lost complete control of the map as soon as the outer towers fell. And now that the inner ones have fallen, it just gets worse.
Well, it's certainly being demonstrated here for Oscar. In 21-2, Curtain Call has to be used to clear out a minion wave. Pentacue going to tank that one up as XQ just going to get dove on. Republic, a cheeky auto attack Q is going to secure that one. And GT just look like they're going through the motions, now crashing into this inhibitor turret on the bottom side of the map. Otto can't even go anywhere near this team. City still has his ultimate available. He can dive whenever he wants. That turret just melts. GT are playing with a bit of respect, moving out of the way. It's Pentacue. Not going to take down the inhib just yet. There's at least some wave clear.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, Pentacue now going to move over to this inhibitor. Below half health at the moment. Malefic Visions cruising around some of the minions, but isn't really going to do too much. As Shu, he's going to explode. Gimgoon picks up that kill in the end. Deadly Flourish comes down, but doesn't find any stuns as Chimin has to run to the safety or relative safety of nowhere on the map, because there's just nowhere that's safe. XQ now moving back towards the fountain. Republic's very, very low as Akon does get himself a shutdown. Transcendent Blades keeping him healthy. Cannon Barrage flashed out of there by Akon, who gets back over the top. Wushang and Gimgoon sharing turret aggro and saying at least say goodbye to them for the moment. That inhib did eventually fall down. It's Pentacue. Oh, Malefic Vision's doing a lot of work, but Voidling's running out of the way. And City takes some damage, but doesn't get stunned. Gimgoon over to the side. Can he find the barrels here to get this done? There's a headbutt pulse. XQ, he's going to get taken down by Gimgoon, who finds Otto in the end. He might die, or might not.
I believe in the Wind Speaker's blessing.
Oh, he just eats some oranges. He's okay. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Should be reminded that the first time these teams faced, Game Talents destroyed Saint with a triple Infernal Drake spawn at about 20 minutes. I think it was like 20 to 25 minutes in the game. Absurdly early. And Wushang ran through them with a Kindred. So I think this is probably flashbacks right now.
Yeah, this feels a little bit like what we were expecting from this series, to be perfectly honest with you, Frosker. And GT should be the better team here.
And that was really the series that kind of kicked off this idea of, you know, how good are Game Talents? Because they came into the LPL, no one really expected much from them. Plateaued a bit, kind of a jack-of-all-trades team. Don't really excel one direction or the other, but kind of mediocre at everything.
And if they can win here, it'll be a 7-9 finish. So not massive, as Acorn just dies. Yep, Republic picks up that kill.
Well,
pretty easily.
anytime you have a professional game where you get to go, 9-3-10, 10-3-10.
Wait for the 11. No, not happening yet.
It just feels good.
It does. They grab themselves a Mountain Drake there as well. Otto looking for the pick,
He
but
just
finds
feasted out.
absolutely nothing. Gimgoon taking a fair bit of damage as Republic destroys Otto. There's a headbutt pole. Cannon Barrage in there as well as the Rat-a-tat-tat over the top. Can Jimin burn down? And he does. Double kill for PentaQ, who's getting his piece of the pie. And Wushang says, guys, it's time to win the game. What are we even doing? We're mucking around. Let's pick up these Nexus turrets. First one goes down to only the Rek'Sai as Republic and Gimgoon will turn up. PentaQ's there with the consistent damage, and at 25 minutes, GT answer Saints' first victory.
I'm pretty sure what we just witnessed is illegal in multiple countries.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Brutal,
disgusting.
to say the least.
But that means we're going to Game 3. So Game Talents, the third-place team in Group A, really decided to show up. Welcome back, guys.
And we'll see whether it's going to be, blue side being that massive buff, because both of these matches were extraordinarily fast. 30 minutes in our first one, Saint being able to take down that very, very decisively, and then 25 minutes for the Game Talents victory. Are we looking at a 20-minute win for one of these teams moving into game number 3?
Possibly, I don't think so. I think it's more so the fact that the blueprint was discovered about how to beat Saint. Again, they won the first game because they had a very binary composition in the Hecarim Shin. You take that tool away from them, and they all just kind of collapse.
Yeah, well, Republic, he went off in that mid lane, despite the Nether Grasp. Didn't even really matter, as he just got himself the lead and repeatedly killed the Malzahar.
And it's such a fun composition coming out of Game Talents in game number 2. It's kind of this global assassination comp. If LeBlanc and Twitch get ahead, or when they find their breakpoints if they're on clock, you can't be anywhere on this map, because the semi-global presence of Rek'Sai as well as the global presence of Gangplank is just really beautiful and fun to watch. And I think it works very well against a team like Saint, who are a bit uncoordinated and very scrappy. They want to fight you, but you never know how many members are going to be there.
And you have to say that the composition was actually a beautiful snowball composition for those exact reasons. It felt like, Game Talents were often reacting to all of the good fortune that they had, but they were able to do it with so many different tools. Cannon Barrage, you've got the ambush to come in, the fact that the cow was trying to be everywhere around the map. And look, that's another thing that we have to talk about. City had a better performance this time.
Yep, looking much stronger on the Alistair this time around. And then again, this highlight on your screen, the fact that they were able to have a successful dive without having the Gangplank ultimate was pretty key there, because a 3 versus 2 dive can sometimes get very dicey.
Yeah, most certainly is. But ladies and gentlemen, we've got Game 3 coming right up. We're going to go to a short break, but when we get back, Saint try to bounce back against Game Talents.